The garden traineeship is a traineeship that allows young people to learn about horticulture and permaculture involving hard landscaping, landscape design and plant cultivation, learning about the importance of community site building.
A part-time-ish job working with experienced builders and also volunteers and members of the community to build a community garden. Along with some extra training in terms of tool use, plant knowledge and general gardening practice.
It is easier to do it by one. I think it gets messier when people try and do it.
A chance to both learn a lot and give a lot at the same time.
Core of our program, so we're talking about like 10 to 18, I think 13 to 18 at the beginning. But yeah, secondary, so primary school and secondary school.
Yeah.
And it's all garden, we've got chickens there. And then within the frame we've built this beautiful classroom which is all kind of made out of like recycled materials.
I think there's a lot of different sort of bits and pieces to gain from this, not just in like a gardening capacity, but also in like a building one, educational one, sort of community engagement. So there's a lot to take away from it, depending on who you are and what you're after.
The other one looks a bit bigger than the 12. But yeah. Alright. Cool. Nice one. Alright.
For me, it was like an opportunity to build more like practical skills. And just like get the opportunity to spend more time in a like wildlife space.
So this is outlining a little box, a way of escaping the everyday, mundane.
Damn. You good?
Yeah, it's just a lot of
Quite a lot of work, innit?
yeah. Trying to find work, trying to find a job, being stuck indoors and really needing that regularity.
For me, it's been a nice chance to actually get outside and work again. I used to do that a lot for a good few years, and as of like the last year and a half, I just had a lot less time and opportunity to do so. I just like working in outdoor spaces. It lets me feel connection to the sort of environment when I'm able to actually just be outside. You work in all sorts of weathers, which whenever I explain that to some people, they're kind of like, wow, that sounds awful, but nah, like for me, a good day is when I end the day sort of covered in mud from head to toe, and it lets me do that, so I'm happy.
I have learned more about sort of like knowledge of just the general basics of gardening. I kind of did some with my like grandparents as a kid, but didn't really know what I was doing. Whereas now I feel like I can sort of confidently do gardening by myself. So I think that as well, and also just the general communication between like a team.
All of these like purpley coloured ones, pinky purple, are kind of smaller trees. Lots of them they're like apples and things that have been grafted onto smaller roots. So, because apples can get like massive, but our ones are all hopefully gonna be small. I mean, they came from the Story Garden and they've been in containers for a while. So
I've learned quite a lot about just how dynamically the sort of ecosystems interact with one another. And sort of when we're building our forest garden, you know, we're looking for nitrogen fixers, we're looking for plants that bring up nutrients from deeper in the soil and bring them further up to have them be more accessible. We've got, you know, the whole mycelium network that interacts sort of endlessly.
Like it will struggle.
It will continue growing around in a circle if we don't do this. So we're just loosening it to push the tree in so that it's making contact with the soil.
I've learned that you need to carp the root ball when putting something in because the tree can suffocate itself with its own roots. I've learned how to use a shave horse and various kinds of drills and knives, all in an environment where I can practically apply it.
Or you just lie on it, Ferrari, and we'll roll you.
I mean, I feel like a new person since the start of it, so it's kind of been for me like a big change of like being able to build up my like confidence.
My favourite thing about being outdoors and working on the cohort has been the value of being around nature. Some days it's appreciating the robin that visits us, fluttering, springing and hopping from one place to the other, curious and cheeky. I also appreciate the space to move, the change of weather, the air and openness.
And then what you do is you calculate how much found in this way in nature for thousands of years is going to be undemanding because it's survived in nature on its own. Yeah, really nice one. As I say, the leaves you can harvest as well. It's really prolific. And one of the advantages of this also is you can prune it really hard.
At the start I was probably really nervous about meeting new people, but now I welcome new experiences and meeting new people. There wasn't any squirrels or anything at all before at the beginning, and I was like, I've seen loads in the woodland. Before it was sort of like a building site, but now it's finally becoming a garden.
And what I would do is I'm gonna add a bit of a strolch and just water it and keep retain the moisture in it. And I might add some like wildflowers to it.
Cheers!
So they were easy for them to harvest, and the numbers declined dramatically because of the overharvesting of seeds. Now every seed is monitored by the Seychelles government, so they know where all the trees are, and they'll monitor the seeds and they record it. Then when the seed is ready or when the seed drops, they will allocate that seed somewhere for it to be grown and nurtured. So it's wonderful. Often it will be given to communities, or maybe it's some sort of research project. In fact, if you want a seed, so us here at Millennium Seed Bank, you need a license from the Seychelles government in order to hold a cocoa de mer seed.
these are the points of these compost.
Yeah, these ones are the compost, but all of these will have compost soil in them.
It's also been a great chance to sort of bolster my ability to engage with the community and sort of, I guess, recognize what I am capable of doing in terms of leadership at the moment.
I found that my decision making has improved quite a bit, and I'm better at talking my way through problems as they arise, and also allow myself to get towards resolving them.
Hello! This is what I'm saying, maybe I should just let him speak. Did I go on after the night?
Buried in the ground that, like, by the time that the plant's roots can access this, it will be broken down. I just know it takes because that whole bin down there.
I've had a lot of opportunity to really learn about the way things interact beyond my vision and like beyond the way that we can understand in a very visual sense. You know, you could say that you've seen a tree growing for sure, but it'd be one thing to also recognize how much outside of that tree has contributed towards that growth. And that's sort of just how ecosystems work on a very fundamental level.
No, the old man.
That was it. He stepped in poop. I wasn't even talking about it.
We've grown together as well as helping the site to grow, and that's been really beautiful.
Make sure you get the bit of mango chutney there. It really helped.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
This is a hefty radish. I wonder, do you think I let them in a little bit too long?
My belief in wanting to become a horticulturalist, someone working with plants, has definitely been reinforced. I've learned that I can be quite good at leading and facilitating exercises, which I didn't know about myself before, and that I like people more, I guess. There you go.
I think that's more about the wire being stretched.
Got it.
Alright, so Carly, explain the lasagna. Carbon and nitrogen meet, they create a chemical reaction which produces heat and then helps all of your compost to break down properly.
But just, I feel like a lot of the time we kind of it doesn't always feel like work. It kind of just feels like, yeah, we're working, but we're also just sort of talking and just hanging out as like a group. Just the sort of synergy and like fun that we all have together.
Better. Yeah.
Your mortises. And then, yeah, you slowly put another post in and gradually work your way along.
There was one time in which we filled up a large container with water in order to soak willow, for weaving willow fences. But while it was filled with water, a member of our site, because it was a hot day, decided to strip down to his undies and hop in for a little bath.
And it also feels like we're working towards something that's bigger than ourselves, a project that will sustain others.
Wow, yeah, okay.
I think that's fine. So then it's just finding the scrap wood for it.
And a self-sustaining site.
So it'll be the stone that holds the liner in place. And then there's like footings, which is for us going to be the shelves. And the reason why you want it to be like that is so that when you put the plants in, they can sit on top.
What's the word? Focus.
Oh, that looks so cool.
I think a lot about some of these sort of invertebrates that I found on site, and how it's usually me finding a cool bug and going, hey, everyone, look at this right now. In particular, I think about the lesser stag beetle that we found, and that wasn't me finding it actually. Theo found that, but Theo went and he called for me and he went, Brent, look at this cool bug. And so, yeah, it was kind of nice to just have it be, I guess, more of a communal thing than it just be me pestering people all day about bugs. And I really appreciated it.
I've learned about people as well. That so many different people from different backgrounds can come together and work on something together, even if it's just for an hour on a Thursday evening. It really restores faith in humanity.